Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Final Girl. Final Girl is a solo-only game published by Van Ryder Games. This Camp Happy Trails version is designed by Evan Derrick and Evan Derrick. But I think the base game is designed by different people, which is weird because, whatever. So it's designed by Evan Derrick. This one plays in 20 to 60 minutes, ages 14 plus. Now what you're doing in this game is you are effectively taking on the role of a final girl from a horror movie. So think like Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street, all that kind of thing. And you are the last girl alive, and you're trying to kill the baddie before the baddie kills you. That's it. The way the game plays is going to have some card play. You're going to pick some actions. You're going to roll some dice to see if the action that you want to do is successful. And then you're going to be moving around this little map, trying to rescue victims and do all that normal final girl in a horror movie type things. If you want to see all of that works, you can click the link in the video description, and I'll play through like half the game. I'm not sure how far I play through. I might actually die. But I'll play through enough so you can see how the game works. But if you don't want to check that out, let's stay right here and look at the components. Okay, so I'm going to look at the components of the core box, because you have to have this. And then you have to have at least one feature film box. So this has all the components to play every game. And this will have specific items for the specific bad guys and different maps, okay? So let's look at the core box first. The box is really cool. It's like one of those magnetic style boxes. The rule book is inside. It's a nice rule book. Gives icons on the back. Tells you how to play the game. There's tons of pictures, tons of examples. It's a pretty beefy rule book. There's a decent amount going on in here. Then we'll look at, there's a board, which is going to track basically most of your information. It's going to have the turn phase, where your final girl goes, any gear that you're holding, and mostly your time, or your horror track and time track, which is going to be like the currency of the game. If you're crazy, there's also a really hard side. That's nice cardboard. I like it. Now, let's look at this. This is what comes inside the box. These are all the components. I don't really know how they go in there, so I just put them in there like this. But there are really nice dice, which have 5 and 6s have stars, which are successes. 3 and 4 have some cards where you're going to discard some cards and you can make it a success. There's some meeples. Here's the killer meeple, which is red. Here's the final girl meeple, which is purple. If you're colorblind, I don't know if that's going to work for you. There's a pile of victim meeples, which are yellow. It's regular meeples. There's also some special victims, like there's an orange one here. They reference some event cards, which I'll show you. And then there are these awesome heart tokens right here to track your health. And a pile of butt ton of cards. So in this box, well, in the Final Girl expansion, there's 2 Final Girls, but it says keep all those in your base game box. So it comes with 2 Final Girls. And then the cards look like this. They're not very exciting. They're all going to have something like this. They're going to have 3 or maybe more actions that you can do. A success, what it's going to take to make that action work, some time you're going to spend, and then like some thematic ties, and then what the action's going to do there. They're all similar to that. And there are some cards that are going to start in your hand every game. They're going to have a 0 down here. They're pretty nice cards. They're not lit and finish or anything, but you're not really doing a ton with them too much. You're never shuffling them, so it's not that big a deal, really. So yeah, that's the component to the base core box, I should say. Then in this box, this is really cool too, so check this out. I don't know if they're all like this, but this is cool. So there's 2 magnetic sections. One is the board. So this is the Camp Happy Trails board. You're going to be able to put some cards above it, and you're going to be moving around here trying to gather victims. That's really cool. It's also the outside of the box, which is cool. And then the other side of the box, which is pretty cool, is the bad. So we got Hans here. Hans the Butcher. Basically Jason. but they can't use Jason. So this is going to track all the bad guys, stuff that he's going to do, the actions that he's going to take, all that kind of thing. And it's also part of the box, which is really freaking fantastic. But inside this, it's not that exciting. It's mostly just cards. So I'm not even going to get them out. It's just cards to go with the scenario. You got the killer cards, and you got specific cards and a few tokens for the location. So I'm not going to get that out. And if there are any special rules, they'll be here along with the components. This one is basic. It has no special rules. Okay, so those are the components of the core box and the camp, whatever this one's called, Camp Happy, the Happy Trails Horror. So let's move on and talk about what we think about the game. All right, so Final Girl is a game that I've been wanting to try for a really long time. I've been playing a lot more solo games or multiplayer games, double-handed, but whatever, by myself. And this is a game that looks like it was going to be a ton of fun. It was just solo only, cool puzzle, and a cool horror theme. Like, I watch a ton of horror movies. I don't watch them as much now, but I used to. I've seen all the Halloweens, all the Jason movies. Not super big into Freddy, but, you know, whatever. So this theme resonates with me. So I thought, man, I can get this solo game, play through it, have some fun. And I'm glad I did. This game is a ton of fun. It's basically an efficiency puzzle where you are playing cards to try to take actions that you want to take, but you're at the mercy of a die roll, or 2 die roll, or 3 die rolls. So that's that's maybe the only piece of this game that I don't love is I'm all set up to do this awesome action, but then I roll 1s and 2s and I can't do it. I don't have any reroll cards. So the dice can really bone you, but it's not going to happen every time. So if it happens that one time, there will probably be 4 or 5 times that it doesn't happen. And it's just a ton of fun. Rescuing the victims, the thematic boards that you can clearly tell where it's from. You can clearly tell the Camp Happy Trails is Camp Crystal Lake, but they can't say that. And it's just, you know, makes you feel like you're playing the movie, and I really dig that. So this is a reprint of Hostage Negotiator, which I never got to play, but I mean, I have this one, so I don't know anything about that. But if you played Hostage Negotiator, I guess this is a little bit different, but I'm not going to compare because I don't know. But if you're into solo games, you can check that one out too. But I'm going to give this one a BGG and accept the seal. This is going to get a 7 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.5 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what we're going to do. So that is Final Girl with the, whatever, I always forget what this is called. The Happy Trails Horror from Van Ryder Games. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.